Good evening, everyone. I'm Timothy Go. Live news from Orchard Road. Live news? Anyone? Anyone? News? Well, it seems like nobody's interested in the news live from Orchard Road these days. As you can see, we haven't really earned a single dollar since we've been standing here all day. But that guy over there seems to be earning quite a few attention, so I'm gonna go and check out what he's doing right. Busking or street entertainment is hardly new to Singaporeans. But by local standards, this group of people appears more interested than the regular passing crowd. And this is what caught all their attention.
Hi, my name is Jordan. I'm 24 years old, and I get paid to...
Hey, wait a minute. Isn't that vandalism? Well, that was what his parents thought when he first did this on his bedroom wall 5 years ago. Neither they nor Jordan thought at that time that spray paint art, otherwise known as aerosol graphia, would become what he would one day be paid to do. Intrigued by a street performance he saw in Australia when he was only 12 years old, Jordan devoted the next 12 years to learning the craft all by himself.
One day we were invited to school to look at his artwork in the O-levels. And his work was displayed in the hall, stand-alone artistic pictures. And it was very, very artistic, which I cannot even understand. He used recycled materials to portray an Air Force pilot flying through the sky. And the clouds are flying past him. And we were very, very surprised. From there, we knew he got talents.
Jordan was hesitant to show us some of his past works. No wonder. His artistic progress is evident across the years. A hobby grew into something big when friends and family began to appreciate Jordan's art. This 3 by 1 meter wood piece is by far his largest work. It was done on Dad's request. His dad wanted to have a piece of his work to display at home. And it wasn't easy to get his parents approving his art simply because of the hazardous substances inherent in aerosol paint.
I do not know how many times I've quarreled with my parents because they are really concerned of my health. But I tried using the protection equipment, like gas masks and stuff like that.
A talent remains a buried one if unused. Jordan practiced and practiced to hone his talent into skills. Skills that could be put into good use when other plans fail. Truth is, as a child, Jordan's ambition was to become a pilot, just like his dad. During his teens, he flew with the Singapore Youth Flying Club, did a diploma in aeronautical engineering, and now is but a few months short of completing a degree in aviation management. But faced with the economic downturn, even his applications for basic clerical jobs in the industry were rejected.
You can study as hard as you can, but other things like the recession and other factors you can't control. So you always need to have an alternative, so-called fallback. Like for myself, I had this skill in painting, and I fell back on that when the recession hit. So it would tide me over financially until I'm ready to join the aviation sector. But yeah, I think that's what differentiates me from the regular so-called MOE trained person, yeah, in that sense.
With hopes of flying put on hold, Jordan still leaves home every day with a luggage, except he is bound for town.
Initially, I was a bit apprehensive, to be honest. I asked him, are you going outside to bake? He said, no, Dad, I'm going to earn money. So after seeing what he did, and I went down there to see what he did, and people appreciating his art, and I was very, very surprised.
Creating awareness for aerosol graphia is his main aim for taking it to the streets 2 years ago. But does it pay the bills? Apparently, yes. Not only it pays the bills, it has allowed him to go on 2 holidays in the region this year. After enlisting to national service at 18, he stopped receiving pocket money. Jordan has since tried jobs in coffee chains, customer service, property and credit card sales, and even multi-level marketing.
Let's say you work in a cafe or a fast food joint, you get paid, let's say, $5 an hour. So I will be thinking to myself, I'm a $5 an hour man. Okay? But through busking, I realized that the amount generated is much higher per hour than going to find a normal job. And the more you get paid per hour, the less hours you need to work. And that gives you more time on your hands to do other things like play sports, go hang out with friends and everything. Because there's more to life than just a 9-to-5 job, 5 days a week. You got family and everything to hang around with. You got stuff to do.
Get this, it takes him just 45 seconds to paint a simple piece. On a good day, he can collect up to $500 for his performance in spray painting service. Whereas online, he receives orders for his paintings every month. Compared to the 9 months needed to sell a piece of art in the gallery, busking not only makes economic sense, it also made him view art from a different lens.
There's a saying goes that artists don't make money until they're dead. I don't want to make money after I'm dead.
Although this is busking, right, I approach this from a very business point of view. I run by 3 principles. The first being it needs a very low startup cost. So when I first started off, I only started with 5 cans, a small mat and a few pieces of paper. So it's very small. The other one is high returns. So the second principle came in fact that from these 5 cans, I've actually expanded to what you can see here. And trust me, these things aren't cheap. And the last one is potential for expansion. So the last principle can't exactly apply here because I can't create branches out of this. To create branches, I need to train people, and when they set up another place, they need to pay me royalties and stuff like that. But this is busking, everyone earns their keep. So this satisfies my 2 principles. And the last one, not so much.
So that night, I joined the artist to understand his busking business. Apart from the heat that made me quite uncomfortable, it was a little stressful to perform in front of a live audience. So I followed Jordan's instructions carefully, but...
Gently.
Whew. I was so glad I managed to get the rest of it well.
Yep, there you go. Yeah. Last part, the most exciting. What you must do is darken the corner. I was saying this tool is very important. Right. Side. Go. There you go.
So what do you guys think? Hey, that's the best part of it all.
That's the best part of it all.
So that's why you do it out here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my finished product. Not bad. I'm gonna try and see how much money I can get out of this after being watched when I was doing this. So let's try. Would you want to buy this? Okay, I'm gonna try and sell this now. Anyone?
Okay, go.
I did this myself. Did you buy? Anyone? You can bid on it.
Jordan was
Start
right.
at $1.
Busking is definitely about meeting people. My colleague Melissa was quick to help with the sale.
2. See, it's not easy to sell a product, right? $3, there we go. Anyone for 4? 4, he's taking it for 4.
6.
There we go, 6. Wow. Okay, shall we consider it sold for $9? Is that good enough?
Yeah, I think that's good enough. On my first day I started, I sold my first piece for 2.
Hey, $9 is
and
not
$9
bad.
is a good effort.
It's yours.
First.
Hey, got my first $9 selling. Here's your $1 change.
It looks really nice. It looks very nice.
For Jordan, it is these little gestures of appreciation that spurs him on. And for the rest of us, it is guys like him who demonstrate how we should paint the bigger picture of our lives.
I feel that everyone should actually harness whatever skill they have and turn it into a source of income, because not only will they enjoy what they're doing, it's a personal motivation to actually improve on themselves and make themselves better. That would actually give one a higher sense of achievement than actually just going to work for that paycheck. When I finish a piece, let's say, and I think it's good, I think I really have done my best and produced a really nice painting, and there's people out there who actually comes and says, hey kid, you're really, really, really talented, and I think that is what drives me, and that is what really makes me enjoy this, and honestly, I cannot ask for more.
What I get paid to.
Business or pleasure?
Pleasure.
Well, in that case, welcome, my friends.
Probably the best beer experience in the world. Carlsberg. It doesn't get any better than this.
Australians wake up this morning to news that chill a brazen plot to launch what the government's calling the most serious terror attack on home soil. I'll have the latest on Primetime News.
What I get paid to.
You wouldn't have noticed its presence, a nondescript carpet meant to be trodden on. Except, this particular carpet holds a special place in Imad's heart, so much so he wouldn't even let anyone eat near it.
This is my favorite carpet, which is why I've actually put this in my living room. It takes a lot of work, and it's actually still made by tribal people. All natural materials, and it's, as I say, my pride and joy.
Imad isn't another yuppie expat who collects carpets. You see, he runs a family carpet business that goes back more than 1 century. His was a business that started out 130 years ago in a small town called Peshawar in Pakistan. From that one small store set against the rugged background of the Khyber Mountains, today the family has carpet stores all over the world, including Singapore, the part of the family business Imad runs.
Okay, I'm about to see a piece of history right here at Salam Carpet. It's a very rare piece of carpet which has, well, it's brand new, but
It was made 100 years ago.
made 100 years
Absolutely
ago.
minimum 100 years. It's been in the store for that long, so I'd add on 5-10 years.
And it's not for sale.
It's the only carpet which is not for sale. This carpet actually, this and another one, it's actually a pair. One my father inherited and one my dad's brother inherited.
So there's a bit of a family history, that's why it's not for sale.
Yes, exactly right.
Imad has lived this business since the day he was born. He made his first carpet sale at the tender age of 12 in Lahore, Pakistan. His father, Tariq, set up the business in Singapore in 1996, and at age 14, Imad moved to Singapore.
And it's the first time I ever traveled east of Pakistan and ended up staying here. I still remember, I think it was, I remember the exact date, 20th November 1996, I got to Singapore. I joined school on the 24th of January and in 97. And I used to go to International School of Singapore here. And the whole time, I mean, even between that time period, I was already working on the store and getting the shipment through, setting up the store, a lot of manual labor.
Imad spent his formative years working at the carpet store after school and on weekends. He would run it on his own whenever his father roamed the world sourcing for the most exquisite carpets. At such a tender age, there was still a lot to learn about running a serious business. Imad was responsible for the livelihoods of all his employees and their families. A lot of pressure. And with his father being so good at what he does, Imad has big shoes to fill.
When you're not selling, then you do have a lot of responsibilities and liabilities. So I just guess you've got to grow up a bit faster.
Growing up entrenched in the carpet business meant Imad knows carpets like the back of his hand today. Someday he hopes to write a book about them. But in a 5-generation family of carpet experts, this passion is handed down from somewhere. And in this case, it's clearly from father to son.
It is in my blood. I mean, if I don't do carpets, I don't think I can do anything else in my life.
You know, I mean, people actually, is this part of your ID or your identity, right? In Peshawar, we're actually known as the Kabul House family.
Yeah, our people just know us
as Kabul,
Kabul House. That's it.
So these guys are from Kabul
Yeah,
House.
this
so
is, yeah.
The store is not known by us, we're known by the store.
Yeah.
This is 100% silk, and it's approximately 4.5 years worth of work.
4.5 years. It's very fine in the back.
So, I mean, you were asking me why this is the most pricey carpet, right? So
Right.
we've actually had 2 people sit down and tie approximately 900 knots to 1 square inch.
900 knots to 1 square inch, okay.
There's 144 square inches in 1 square foot.
Mm-hmm.
This one over here is 4 meters by 3 meters, so it's around about 130 square feet. 16.5 million knots.
16.5 million knots.
Each knot is individually tied.
By hand.
By hand and individually cut. So it's not, you're not weaving it. You're tying a knot, and you're cutting it. Then you're tying another knot, then you're cutting it. And you've got to do that exercise 16.5 million times. This is Persian art at its best.
So how much is this carpet here?
This will be in the region of $140,000.
Wow.
Still not much for 9 years of labor.
What I get paid to.
There are a lot of things to explore, and it would be good for people to know all of the sort of diversity that Thailand offers.
I love Thai massage.
She goes every day.
So full of life. There's always something going on.
I love Thailand.
A world of media within your reach. MediaCorp wishes Singapore a happy birthday. Join us for the pledge moment on 9th August at 8:22 p.m. wherever you are.
What I get paid to.
Among the 5 generations of carpet sellers in his family, Imad is the only one who has another job in asset management. But his father is convinced this is merely a phase.
I just let him go because I could see that he has a passion for banking. So I tried him to go work for a few years, and I know that eventually he will come back. Let him burn out.
When I start to burn out a little bit, then I'll just take a little holiday. You do whatever's required. So for me, that means pretty much 24/7 work life, but I do enjoy my work, so I suppose that's okay.
But if he had to make a choice between the two professions, which one would it be?
Whichever pays more. Now that's a tough one. I don't know. I'd rather delay that decision.
Imad employs over 80 staff to man his stores while he is working during the day. But any newbie who comes in to work for him isn't allowed to work the sales floor before observing the others for at least 4 to 6 months.
So basically, I mean, if you're ready, I mean, you can try opening up a couple of carpets and see how we get on, yeah?
Sure. I'm going to be carrying a $6,200 carpet, which is taller than me. Oh, God, it's heavy. This is about, what, 20?
About 20, 25 kilos,
Okay.
yes. Sounds about right. I'll move out of the way.
Okay. Okay, everyone, clear. You don't want to get hurt.
And it has to be straight.
I'm going to roll this out straight. Can I do it? Let me do that again. I'm ready for this. Let me.
Just keep on holding on to it.
Okay.
Now, do you want to take a shot? The 60-year-old man will come.
I don't think. You can do this?
Papa, yeah, don't hurt your back.
Oh, wow.
60-year-old man with this kind of weight, I will just do it.
I think you do a better job than I would.
Just see.
Okay.
Just hold it like this.
Careful.
Wait a minute. And then you hold it for like this. Wait a
Okay.
minute.
Papa, careful.
Like this. And you don't throw the carpet. Just throw it out.
Let's see. Wow. Okay, if a 60-year-old man can do this, I can do this too. God, I can't even lift it anymore. Okay. So hold on to the edges.
Step forward and gently.
Okay, I have my fingers crossed somewhere. Okay, I think...
You can open the rest with your hand.
I think if I'm a salesman, this is what I'll do. There you go.
And that was how Imad started out, carrying 100-kilogram carpets from the delivery truck. He doesn't have to do that anymore. Now he looks after profit and loss and dealing with high-profile customers.
This is what?
And there's an added perk to being a carpet salesman that Imad specially enjoys, and that's making house calls and personally delivering carpets.
Hi, Emmett. How are you? Come in.
Hi, Rob. How are you?
Good to see you again. You well?
Not too bad, yourself?
Good, very well. We've had the carpets in place for a couple of days now, and they look amazing.
Robiano is an avid customer of Imad's. He's bought 4 carpets from him, and he's still looking to buy a few more.
When we first started looking for carpets to buy, we were very wary of who to approach because we'd heard some horror stories. But when we went into a Imad shop, we very quickly realized that here's a family of 5 generations that have been in this business for so long, and they really spoke with passion from the heart. Thanks to Imad and his father, I learned that not all carpets are created equal. I thought a carpet is a carpet is a carpet, and it's not the case at all. And for me, it's clear that every carpet has a story to tell. We've had an introduction to a whole new world.
I think to be able to survive in this kind of job, or this industry for that matter, you need a lot of passion. You need years to actually understand what goes into the carpets and how to impart that knowledge to your customer as well so you can sell it properly. Not anyone can do this job.
Every day I wake up older. So many people ask me why. Waking up 3 in the morning, getting home way too late. Still
We all whine and complain about the amount of hours we put in the office or the amount of work we have to do. But in this episode of I Get Paid To, we meet some interesting individuals who actually don't mind putting in those long working hours just to make a living. Why is that? We find out why.
Do you have an office that looks out to the sea? A pool to distress in? Or the breeze from the wind to cast your worries away?
My activity, art activity, is right outside. And through the palm trees to this beautiful blue and the sea is a positive energy and make you happy. That's the key, happiness. And I love that.
Meet 38-year-old Claudia Ayala, a gentil organisateur, or a GO for short, and a trapeze artist from Club Med in Bintan. Her main job at the resort is to man the trapeze station and teach resort guests how to trapeze. But by nightfall, she will transform into the lead actress from the movie Grease. Sometimes even performs acrobatic acts not unlike Cirque du Soleil. Born into a traditional circus family, Claudia received acrobatic training from her father when she was just a child. The rest of her immediate family members have stopped performing, but she felt compelled to uphold the family tradition.
Actually, it's in my blood because every time I think like I'm gonna stop like my sister or just to be my side, my parents, I'm like, I cannot. I start to itching my feet. It's like, I cannot stop, I cannot. So it's in the blood.
If the need to perform and entertain others is in her blood, so is Wanderlust. Indonesia is her current pit stop after enjoying stunts in the United States, Mexico, and Israel. Working around the world may be her dream, but it has come at a price. The singleton hasn't been able to develop long-term relationships, not just because of her globe-trotting ways, but also because of the long hours she keeps.
The one thing that impressed me about these people, they perform, they do their rehearsal, they set up the stage where they're going to perform or all the apparatus that they need for their act. And then after that, when everyone else is gone, they're actually taking it down personally by themselves. And it's in the water. They have to drain the poles and make sure they're dry, keep all the chairs back in where they came from. And that's amazing. You don't see that in a lot of places where performers actually set up and take it down themselves.
It is this sense of professionalism that keeps Claudia on her toes. And it's not just constantly working out to keep her physical self in tip-top condition. It is also making the guests feel welcome 24/7. While some may consider interacting with guests all day long a chore, Claudia takes it in her stride. In fact, she considers it a novel way of picking up new languages.
I play with everybody, but little by little I say, how do you say good morning? How do you say thanks? How do you say beautiful? Because this is improve myself. And then when I go on to have lunch or dinner with a Japanese or Chinese, at least I know how to get in touch with the people, no?
Claudia once told me that getting guests to take the first step onto the trapeze is a small victory, and no prizes for guessing who the next wannabe trapeze performer is.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. You?
Good. Would you like to try? We have a trapeze here.
Yeah, I think I'm ready for the height.
You ready? You haven't did before?
Mm-mm.
First time?
First time.
You are in the right place.
How long have you been swinging the trapeze?
Swinging the trapeze, not even 3 years.
Not even 3 years.
No, actually, it's new for me. Yeah,
get
that's why I
scared every
understand when
time
you're
you go
scared.
up?
I do understand
Okay.
100% because it's a normal feeling.
Okay.
Yes.
Why did you decide to do this?
When I come in Club Med, they was teaching trapeze, and so I see, well, I can try. And I did try, and I learned to teach
It's a
trapeze.
lot of acrobatic involved
And
in
I'm
the
on
trapeze,
it.
right?
It's beautiful.
Okay.
Also for you, you try once, it's like you cannot stop trying. You
We'll
will
see about that. Okay.
You're excited?
Scared?
Scared? It's normal. I'm also scared.
Really?
First time, everything's scared.
Okay.
All right. So name Timothy, yes?
Tim, yes.
Tim. So good luck. I'm gonna be up there to help you.
Okay.
All right.
Gonna go up. I'll let you go first.
All right. Two hands. Come on. I'm holding you. Come on. Yes. Yes. Wow. Good job. Hands off. Wait for me.
That's it. I gotta do it again. That was kind of scary for me because 3 years is not a long time to learn a skill like the trapeze. She loves her job. You can see it when you talk to her. You can see it when she's fooling around in front of the camera, dancing, making faces, yelling, and she's full of energy. Performance level was world class, even though the production was very much a resort type of production. No big lights, no big explosions, but individually, Claudia was steady. She did tell me it's hard to do, but they have to keep that face, that smile. I was asking her about it. I was so scared when I was doing it. I had this frightened, terrified face when I was up there. But she said they do have the same thing. They just have to put a smile on their face and do it. And keeping conscious of what they have to do from one step to the next, and making sure they don't fall off.
It is the same simple message for every performer the world over: to make the audience happy. It is a mantra that was ingrained since her childhood. And when the guests leave with fond memories of her performance, the feeling is often bittersweet.
All the parents come to thank you because the kid is happy with you, you know. And at the same time, it's upset because they go away. But they leave you something in your heart, you know. To spend this little time, but it's a lot of rich time.
Some say it is a job for the young. For Claudia, as long as her body is able and healthy, she will continue doing what she enjoys most.
I'm the older of my team. I cannot say my age. Please don't say my age. Yeah, I think I can keep longer.
What I get paid to.
For many societies, turning 21 years old is a life course marker. That's for young people. But what if it's a terror organization? What can the world expect from Al-Qaeda as it turns 21 today? That's on Primetime News.
There are a lot of things to explore, and it would be good for people to know all of the sort of diversity that Thailand offers.
I love Thai massage.
She goes every day. So full of life. There's always something going on.
I love Thailand.
Being environmentally friendly. Is it a serious responsibility or just a trendy lifestyle change?
Well, I try to recycle when I can.
To be honest, not that environmentally conscious.
The problem and the solution lie in human hands. What can you do to make a difference? The Vox. Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. exclusively on Channel News Asia.
Hey, what are you going to be doing on the 9th of August at 8:22 p.m.? Whatever you're doing, take a video or a photo of yourself and send it to us because you could win.
Yes, creative photo video cam.
Now email that video or that photo to us at blogtv@blogtv.sg and get it to us by noon on the 13th. Make sure you include your contact details
so they can actually give you the prize that you've won.
We'll announce the winner on the first episode of Blog TV on Thursday, 13th of August.
Hurry, hurry, send in your entries now.
Now.
Hi, I'm Tom. Welcome to this brand new series on photography. Each episode, I'll be joined by 2 guest photographers to uncover the less explored areas of Singapore and rediscover the well-known ones. Join us on Scene City, Singapore. Premiering Wednesday, 19th August, 8:30 p.m. exclusively on Channel News Asia.
What I get paid to.
Well, people who've seen me out and about will know I'm not the tallest person around, but not today.
Well, how does it feel?
It's not as easy being tall as I thought. I think I'd rather stay in my height. Anyway, how do you walk on these things?
Well, the trick is actually not to trip on yourself. That's actually the biggest problem. And to balance
Which
your
is
weight in
the biggest, concern, you know.
So just don't trip on yourself and you're fine.
Let's do it.
This is just one of the numerous ideas dreamt by 26-year-old Agir Yadav, who produces live shows for some of the hottest clubs in town. And he has even wilder ideas, such as this grinder girl costume, which allows models to literally grind themselves on the magnesium-coated suit. It is the opportunity to create new and louder ideas that has him hooked on his job.
So where else do you get your gimmicks and ideas from?
Anything you imagine you can create. We have some stuff like the CO2 suit. I was watching an old clip of Michael Jackson and he was actually flying, right? And we wanted to bring in a rocket suit, but a real rocket suit's $500,000. We spoke to a few people who gave us some ideas, modified it, and realized that we could create a fake-looking suit with carbon dioxide because you just turn on the tank.
Okay.
So then we just strap it on someone with a harness and the person looks like they're levitating, even though they're actually held by a cord. Concepts that actually make an existing show even better, that's never been done before. It gives us an edge because we can propose something that isn't your run-of-the-mill event.
A typical event organizer, he is not. Even as a child, Agir was a free spirit. Nobody could tell him what to do. And he's always had an entrepreneurial streak in him. During his undergraduate days, he started a tuition agency. Monetary success soon followed, and he even dropped out of school to do a full-time job of matching tutors with students. But his interest in the serious business of education didn't last long.
Even though I was doing pretty well, I got really tired of it. I wanted something that was totally me, totally fun. I could wear Bermudas to work every day. I could wake up late. I could meet beautiful women, talk to them, and just enjoy beach culture.
Perhaps it was because this self-proclaimed geek didn't have much luck with young ladies that he decided to set up, what else? A bikini store. And the babes came in by the droves to buy these bikinis, which were not commonly sold back then. With his family's initial investment of $50,000, his business grew, and he set up a second store, both of which were in town. But the recent financial crisis spelled the beginning of an end.
What actually happened is we still didn't have enough demand, so we started bringing in more things, different kinds of bikinis, hair removal, waxes, and all sorts of other products. But after spending $250,000, it was still not bringing in the kind of money we expected.
Whatever he made, he lost. A grand total of $250,000. Through this episode, he discovered his real passion, organizing events.
It was for a club called Lola. It belonged to Central, and they actually invited me down, and they're speaking to me about doing a bikini show. And I had no idea. I'd never done a bikini show. I didn't know anything about models. I didn't know anything about choreography. And the owner of the club at that time just looked at me and said, look, rather than hiring all these people, why don't I just pay you the money? Since you know your stuff, since you know what you want, why don't you just try and do your own show? So I did it. That was my first show, and it was so popular. Everyone loved it, and never stopped since then.
In addition to indulging his creative ideas, Agir has plenty of freedom to do what he pleases. The ample free time between events allows him to pursue his numerous other interests and even leisurely breakfasts with his mother. But the nature of the industry also means that money isn't constant. And while Agir is fine with it, His mother isn't.
Okay, if we don't get this show,
doesn't matter now. I'm trying for more shows.
why go on like that? Try and try. Why don't you just get a regular job like any other person?
Ma,
What,
I already
Ma?
explained to you already.
What? Tell me.
The thing is, eventually this will become a regular job. I can set up my company. I already told you I want to get
At
office
the moment,
one.
it's not. So you've got no CPF contribution, no regular income. If you thought CPF insurance, with CPF contribution, you can't get a house, you can't buy
Yeah, but all of
insurance,
that is not important.
your medical is not covered.
All that is not important.
Who says it's not important? That's
At
basic.
the moment, it's not important.
I wish he'd do a normal job where he gets paid end of the month. Something like maybe a hotel manager or a flight steward. Because I know he's got a gift of the gab. He's a people person. So that kind of job where he gets a regular salary, I'll be very happy. Have a normal life, buy a house like any other Singaporean, start a family, so I also can be happy with him.
I feel I'm growing in a different direction. I don't need to grow in the traditional sense, like get married, get an apartment or get a house and have kids, right? I get to grow in a very different sense. So I don't feel I'm losing out in any way. In fact, I feel I'm gaining because I get to meet more people, experience the world differently before it comes time for me to get married.
It all looks fun and glamorous, but do you know what really goes on behind the scenes?
What's going on?
For many societies, turning 21 years old is a life course marker. That's for young people. But what if it's a terror organization? What can the world expect from Al-Qaeda as it turns 21 today? That's on Primetime News.
Is the US getting soft? Sending former President Bill Clinton to get 2 American journalists out of North Korea? Or is Pyongyang secretly tired of being out in the cold and looking for an excuse to come back to the table? Insight, Thursday at 8:30 p.m.
Sawadee Krap, this is Kun Brian. I love Siam Center in Bangkok.
I love Yongkangjie in Taipei.
I love Anxiang Hill in Singapore.
I love Chatuchak in Bangkok.
Come with me.
Come with me.
Come with me. Come with me as we embark on a chic journey in Fashion Asia.
Fashion Asia. Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m. on Channel U.
Saturday on Japan Hour. Temperatures may drop, but the fun doesn't stop during wintertime in Japan. Visit perhaps the only place in the world where you can actually feed the bears.
うわ、ナイスキャッチだよ。ナイスキャッチ？うわ、でかっ。これ仕込んだのか。
Then beat the cold with an extravagant 11-course crab dinner.
コースとかってあるんですよね、きっと。5250円からコース。安いところから。じゃあ大将、1万円から。
And end the journey with a dip in a luxurious hot spring spa. Catch Japan Hour, Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
This program is brought to you by Sumitomo Corporation, ANA All Nippon Airways, Calbee, Canon, Daikin, Fankel, MSIG Insurance Solutions, NEC, Pilot Pen, UOBTravel.com, and Yakult.
What I get paid to.
With an average of 2 shows per month, Agir can indulge in leisurely pursuits such as shopping. But not today. He's out to check out Ted Baker, which has hired him to showcase their autumn-winter collection. And Agir needs to come up with a concept to pitch to the clients who are expecting a show in just 10 days.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw in elements of funny and probably spin the traditional take on English fashion. Give it a real fun feel. I was thinking maybe I would bring the Queen of England herself to the fashion show.
Brimming with ideas, Agir is eager to share them with his team. After all, such productions are hardly a one-man show. That's where propsman Jay comes in to bring his concepts to life, often under tight budgetary constraints.
A lot of time in Singapore, the budget and the expectations is 2 different kettles of fish. You know, they expect gold for peanuts.
And the money is not the important thing if you're into creativity, because it's the passion that you've got inside of you. But at some point you have to pay salaries, you have to pay rent, you have to pay phone, you know, you still have to pay the bills. So you have to, there's a fine line between going bankrupt and really living your passion and dying.
It really demoralizes you because certain shows can pay you a lot of money. So all of a sudden you're on the top of the world, you have a lot of money. I mean, if you do a very big show, you can easily make $20,000 and suddenly you get it in a lump sum. And then suddenly it's dry for the next 2 months. So it's not so much of having lack of money, but it's, you get demoralized. You feel like you're back at square one, you know, you didn't progress at all. But when you actually think about it, when you actually sit down, you realize that is the nature of the industry.
And he counts on the support of a group of close-knit friends to pull him out of whatever self-doubt and sense of defeat that preoccupies him every now and then.
Every single time he's disappointed, he keeps on complaining to me about people refusing his proposal and stuff like that. This is our part, whereby we just uplift him back again. You know, just tell him, look, just keep on carrying this thing, because we actually see his vision.
Sometimes he does fantasize a little, so it's our job to slap him around and tell him what's like what's probable and what is impossible.
He's just made for this job. He's got really good ideas.
It is 1 week until the show, and Agir has a long list of things to do. But before that, this idea man needs to sell his ideas. And I joined in for the pitch.
Start off with a couple ideas. One of the ideas we were thinking of doing is because Ted is quintessentially English, we are going to bring the English element in, but we're going to sort of diversify the element in English. We're going to turn it upside down, change the colors, and have a lot of wacky fun with it. Okay. We're going to bring in large flags.
With more than 200 projects under his belt, it wasn't surprising that the pitch was accepted by the clients. And now the real hard work begins.
Our client was very excited about my ideas, but there was a couple of problems which I've got to fix right now. She's a bit worried that it might be too crazy, so we'll fine-tune the ideas. The hard part would be the timeline. We have to construct a stage, design a backdrop, release press releases, invite our guests, hire models, fit models, get makeup artists, get a hairstylist, so much more other things, all by Saturday. So we've got a really, really tight timeline, and it's got to rush.
Next up, model selection.
Do it 12 and then come back.
Quite different. Oh yes, definitely.
Yes.
Trina for sure, right?
Really attractive face.
And that's out.
Okay, all right, we're done.
All right.
As the event nears, so does the pressure. Notwithstanding the erratic hours, irregular income, and moments of self-doubt, all in hopes of making that one night a big success.
What keeps me going is I know that some of my ideas are very viable. I am definitely a dreamer, but it's been keeping me going.
It is crunch time and things aren't going smoothly as expected. It is 20 minutes before showtime and the rehearsal isn't over yet.
Danielle, can you hear me when we're calling out to you? Hurry up, I need the CDs. Get me the CD, come down, quick, on to rehearsals.
But Aga needs to maintain his calm.
Are you supposed to be wearing this for the first set? It's actually 10:37 and the show's supposed to start at 10:55. And we want to do a rehearsal. The rehearsal takes about 20 minutes and we're trying to contact our people because they've left the CD with a DJ, so they have to rush down now. We're also having some problems with VIP, so our people are busy trying to sort that out. What's going on? What's going on?
Soon enough, it is showtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for Her Majesty, the Queen of England. Woo!
1 week. I did it in 1 week. I managed to pull it out my butt in 1 week. Yeah, this exact moment makes it all worth it. The fact it was just an idea in my head. You know what I mean? A week and a half ago. All right! Woo! Thank you very much. Fabulous show. Woo! We've not slept for 2 days straight. We're exhausted. It took us 8 hours to cut the music. It was planning, it was getting everything together, models, picking. And you know, every time we do a show, even though we've done it so many times, it feels like it's your first time. It's damn exciting. It's like a big weight lifted, at the same time, it's like an awesome celebration. Every day I wake up older, so many people ask me why. Waking up 3 in the morning, getting home way too late. 7 days of 24, walking in these shoes is what I get paid to.
Out of the shadows of disaster.
Into the turmoil that rocks a nation.
Witness the power of economics.
And delve into the maze of politics.
Whichever way the wind blows,
The ties that bind remain.
reaching greater heights on this continent called Asia.
For news with Asian perspectives,
We go beyond just the headlines
and bring Asia closer to you.
This is Channel News Asia.
Tomorrow on Primetime Morning.
Unlike other cancers, you can prevent cervical cancer through vaccination, but not enough women are doing this, and doctors say it is because of several misconceptions. We'll check in with an expert for the true facts.
Heads up, horror fans, you're in for a scare. The ghostly cast of Ages for Hunt 2 haunts our studio. Join them tomorrow on Primetime Morning.
Threaten. Invade. Warfare. Sacrifice.
Hello everyone, I'm Timothy Go, and I get paid to tell you that in this show, we get to meet very inspiring people who will testify that earning a living is not difficult if you enjoy doing it. So come join me as we dive into the lives of